Rune Hunter, if I am correct, these are the Tears of God. Of course, it's my first time seeing them. Ancient texts describe the Tears of God as something that was created during the war between the evil god servants and the 12 beings. A powerful energy was released when the 12 beings combined their strength into one and collided into serpents to defeat it. The remnants of that force that was not absorbed by the atmosphere crystallized and fell to the ground. That was how the Tears of God came into existence. It may not be equal to the Sacred Arms, but it is clear that it contains power that greatly surpasses runes or essences. A single fragment may not be sufficient. However, a large amount might be able to overcome the plague cloud of the pagans.
That reminds me. I remember that Captain Poshi of Malofront told me a story about the Titan creature Durka. I may have memory issues, but I do remember this. Captain Poshi mentioned that there must be a clear reason that caused the Titan creature to grow to that massive size. After hearing what Drillmaster Eric said, I'm thinking it's the Tears of God that creates these Titan creatures. If we can check the other Titan creatures, we might be able to figure it out. Durka is often spotted near Malofront, which isn't that far from Calicorta. It wouldn't be bad to check it out first.
I understand. I'll regroup with the militia and join you later. We did lose a lot, but it's a relief that we saved you.
All things that turned into life slaves came back to life and continued the onslaught. Many soldiers became exhausted from the endless battles, and desperation slowly began to develop amongst them. You, along with Pan and Weeper, headed to the waterway that connects Malofront and Calicorta. The place that was once filled with silent corpses is now filled with endless battles between the Aphros guards and the life slaves. Malofront was struggling against the revived Dimps and Wasteland bandits. The soldiers just kept on fighting this battle with no end in order to gain a slight time advantage.
Rune Hunter, we meet again. I sense Alyssa did not abandon us just yet. We're having trouble with the Risen Dead ever since the Red Moon rose. What you just saw was also one of the problems we've been trying to solve. May I tell you about it back at Malafront?
다리가 너무 아파. 네? 당신이 제 이름은 어떻게... 파리다가 절 찾고 있다고요? 하지만 제 다리의 부상을 좀 보십시오. 저니까 이 정도 버티는 거지. 다른 사람이었으면 벌써 정신을 잃었을 겁니다. 테라족의 침입이 있다는 건 알고 있었지만 이교도까지 있을 줄이야. 파리다에게는 유감이라고 전해주겠어요? 제 걱정은 정중히 사양하겠습니다. 근처에 있는 단원에게 구조 요청을 보냈거든요. 그 친구가 말이죠, 얼마 전 아프로스에 있던 난리통에 저와 함께 팀 부족을 3,000마리나 했죠. 아주 대단한 친구인데
카림이 떠났다고? 상황이 단단히 꼬여버렸어. 그를 고용하는데 가진 돈을 모두 써버렸거든. 이렇게 된 이상 당신이 광맥 조사를 대신해주는 수밖에 없을 것 같네. 따지고 보면 당신에게도 도의적인 책임이 있는 거잖아? 카림이 떠난다고 했을 때 그를 말렸어야지. 사람 한 번 살린다고 생각하고 도와줬으면 해. 난 꼭 찾아야 할 사람이 있어. 나에게 정말 특별한 사람이야. 그렇게 위험한 일은 아니야. 에우로스 광맥 전이 현상에 대해서는 들어본 적 있지? 광맥이 칼리코르다까지 침투한 모양인데 이곳에서 발견되는 광맥에 대한 조사를 해줬으면 해. 전이 현상이 일어나기 직전에 광맥에 들어갔다가 실종된 나우트라는 남자가 있어. 그에 대한 단서라면 무엇이든 좋으니 나에게 가져와 주겠어?
Kuroko will do best.
이건 나우트가 조각하고 있던 조각상이야. 완성되면 나에게 전해주겠다고 했는데 광맥에서 나온 보석에서도 예사롭지 않은 힘이 느껴져. 실마리를 잡았으니 나는 계속 광맥을 조사하며 나우트를 찾아봐야겠어. 사례를 하고 싶은데 광맥에서 찾은 보석 세공을 나에게 맡겨보는 건 어때? 룬 헌터들은 강한 힘을 얻기 위해 룬과 정수를 찾고 있다고 들었어. 룬만큼은 아니지만 이 보석들에서도 강력한 힘이 느껴지거든. 보석에 담긴 힘을 잘 활용한다면 지금보다 더 강해질 수 있을 거야.
Captain Poshi is heartbroken. It's because Carter is Captain Poshi's dead son, even though his men were threatened. It wouldn't have been easy for him to raise his sword against his own son. Malofront is barely fending off the attack from the revived ones. The massive earthquake caused some geological shifts, making it difficult to anticipate enemy attack routes. And the revived Wasteland Bandit officers are also a great threat to us. We would like to ask you for your help in defeating revived Alto and Conralto. Rune Hunter, if it isn't too much to ask, can you help me on your way out? I'm trying to make a cocktail that will help Captain Poshi relax, but it seems he's run out of all the ingredients. If you have time to spare, it would be a great help if you could find ingredients from the Yellow Wastelands and Empty Hills.
We can help out the Aphros guards, while we look for the Titan creature, as you said. I see that you're always giving your best at all that you do. I should follow your example and try helping out with what I can. Weeper seems shaken after what happened earlier. Why don't you check on him before you leave?
I was scared that you might get hurt. I don't know what I'd do if you weren't with me. I thought about it, but even if I go to Trom alone, I'll probably think of you all the time. So please, look after yourself. Promise me.
This will give us some more time. It's a blessing that you're here with us. If you can, take care of Morris as well. He became stronger as he revived, and he's been giving us a lot of trouble. Watch out. Tolls always stays with Morris. This aloe has an unusually sour taste. If you squeeze the juice and mix it with alcohol, it'll taste completely different. The flower is to decorate the cocktail, and once you add the eucalyptus syrup. Did I not tell you about the eucalyptus earlier? I'm sorry. Seems I wasn't thinking too clearly. I know it's a lot to ask, but could you bring me some of that eucalyptus that grows on the way to Sunrise Hills? Please help me out one more time. Thank you. I'll quickly get to making the syrup. I hope Captain Poshi likes it. He'll like it, right? I don't know what else to say. Thank you very much. Most of the soldiers are exhausted from the non-stop fighting. This should give them a bit of a reprieve. This is all thanks to you, Rune Hunter. I will never forget what you've done for us.
Rune Hunter, it's been a really long time. Have you been well? It's just that we have a scout that's in the direction of the Ruins Cave. That scout is overly timid. And I heard that the Desert Wasp Stinger in Ruins Cave is good for courage. If you spot Desert Hornets on the way, could you bring me back some Hornet Stingers?
I tried to look into ways to help while you were away. Maybe my memory was correct. They say there is a Titan creature named Durka here at Malofront. I also heard that it was recently found near the Ruins Cave. Are you sure you'll be okay by yourself? If not, I can go with you. I know. Me staying here would be more helpful. Oh well, I'll wait here with Weeper, so make it quick.
Love slaves. I can't believe those stories are actually real. Who would have thought this would happen? I feel like I'm living inside a dramatic play or something. Sadly, I don't feel like the main character, but more like the merchant that loses his belongings during the outbreak. What would you do if you found out that you are an extra in this world? Just think about it. The main character is the main character because that's who everyone wants to be. Of course, I want to be the main character too. Evil revived. A hero who struggles to stop it. Well, even if it's not something like that. That's right. I'm going to find all the luggage scattered here and try to become the main character in this story about a merchant who becomes a wealthy man. Now, I need an extra to pick up my luggage for me from Malofront. Where can I find someone to play the part?
have you been? I cannot thank you enough for what you've done before. I heard there have been screams and a sandstorm, along with an earthquake at the ruins cave. I have to go there. But there is this gigantic monster on the way. I really can't do anything about it alone. Will you go there with me? Please? You are truly the best there is. I wish I could be as strong as you are. I simply freeze and tear up at the sight of a creature bigger than I am. If Durka is the one at the ruins cave, it will be many times bigger than these creatures. I'm really sorry, but can I wait outside? 'Cause honestly, I'm really scared.
That's why we are searching for Durka. But it's not been easy.
I do understand what you're saying. Durka is a creature that relocates often. We've been having a difficult time locating it as well. Another location where we have often spotted Durka was in the vicinity of the abandoned camp. But there were some geological shifts after the red moon rose. And the path heading over there is blocked off at the moment.
But Lance, there's another way that leads to the abandoned camp.
Ha! Captain Poshi!
Did you really find it? It was just something I said in passing. Well, I'm sorry. Thank you, Rune Hunter. I feel like the main character thanks to you. I will work hard on this and write my own story. When it's finished, I want you to be the first one to read it.
You returned from the fight against the ferocious Hornet! Amazing! Thanks to your help, the scouts have returned safely. Next time, I'll do my best to help you.
Sorry about earlier. I get sentimental, even though I know my son is dead. But if it happens again, I won't hesitate to save you again. Please keep that in mind. You can reach the abandoned camp by detouring through the barren desert from Aphros ruins. And while you're at it, take care of the dimps in the area as well.
I'm surprised that a rune hunter's still at Malo Front. You're quite the brave one. If you're planning to go beyond this point, I suggest you turn back. Something really big is up ahead. I really would like to punch my past self for thinking that the dimps were not a problem. I'm going back to Trom. If I die here, I'll end up becoming a life slave and wandering the wastelands. I lost everything I had while running away from the dimps. In particular, the guy named Vigpa really has a way of tiring out the people around him. I was barely able to get out. Now that I think about it, the things would be a shame to lose. But what could I do? Surviving was most important. I'm fine. They're all just things I can acquire again. Though the more I talk about it, the more I keep thinking about it.
Pagans at the barren desert? The situation is already bad with the life slaves. Can you find out what they're up to? Even the smallest hints would help. And just in case, be careful. They can be quite unpredictable.
Welcome.
Say the word, Krogomek. You might be lucky.
The Redanimal clergy are preparing a ritual inside the cave. They pour Repenter's blood all over themselves before a major ritual. And that's the moment when I'm going to escape. Call me a coward, but that's the best I can do. I know. I will never be able to sleep well again. I will never be forgiven. All the Repenters were dragged into the cave. I don't think any of them know that I too am a Repenter. I had no choice but to survive. If I hadn't done this, I would have been a victim too. Though I say that, I really do care. I know how I look in your eyes. I am a weak coward. If you are able to, could you help the Repenters instead of me? I'll be waiting at Mallow Front. Sorry.
Another sacrifice to offer. You will never be able to stop us!
Hunter! There is definitely a massive creature right up ahead! Did you just hear that? If that's not Durka, what in the world is it? My legs won't move. But I want to help. Please come back safe. I know you'll be fine, but still.
I've had my eyes on you for a while. The revival is not far. Are you prepared? I am prepared to offer everything I have for the one. If this is also Serpent's will.
Great work. This makes the second Tears of God in our possession. You must be tired. How about you rest at our camp for the time being? William and Eric's are currently looking into anything that relates to the Tears of God. You may learn something from them. I already briefed Captain Poshi. You may leave once the Sandwalker is ready.
Lance told me why you're looking for Durka. If the pagans were looking for Durka as well, it must be for the same reason as you are. And a friend of yours requested a Sandwalker, so I got it ready. But I'm concerned that you're departing so hastily. Anyway, you have a lifetime pass for the Sandwalkers. You don't worry about the fee. They were already dead? If I had done something differently, then would they be alive? Among the dead repenters, there may have been some that were better than me. Did I deserve to survive instead of them?
Rune Hunter? Are we going back to Bilitis? There are a lot of scary creatures and dangerous people in Bilitis. And it's my first time riding a sandwalker. It's not that scary, right? You have to hold my hand, just in case the sandwalker rocks. Please?
Kill them all! That is the only way we can reach the one.
Just hang on, Weeper. Everything will be fine.
It's worse than I thought. This is going to end up becoming critical at this rate. But there aren't any medical personnel in Bilitis who can take care of this child.
It's no hospital. But why don't we try visiting Simiswamp? The Simises might have something that can help Weeper.
With your help, the soldiers of Mallow Front were able to acquire enough time to reorganize and pray for the ones who fell to the life slaves. They are truly grateful for your help. You headed to Simis with your companions. The situation at Simis Swamp was not different from other places. Creatures that have turned into life slaves threatened you at every corner. You made it to Simis and met Kuroku. As the Simis who treated rune hunters infected by the plague, his knowledge about herbs, accumulated over the years, may be of help to Weeper.
I don't want to be pessimistic, but what will you do if Weeper's condition gets worse? I talked to the Simises. And they are not involved in what Salvus has done. If they were influenced by Salvus, they wouldn't have helped us like this in the first place. Prince Favino also didn't seem to know that Salvus lived with the Simus tribe. The Salvus I met here was a kind and nice person. Guess you never know what a person is truly thinking.
The immediate danger's gone, but the child's weakened too much. Can't leave the child like this. Simesi's brewed a decoction to recover. I'm not sure if it works on humans, but we should do something. Ask Liet for help.
You need a lot of herbs to make that decoction. It also takes time, since it has to be brewed. From the child's symptoms, it appears that we will need more than what we currently have. It's not an easy task, because different herbs grow in different regions. Are you prepared to do it? I can provide you with a guide. But promise me you will protect the Simesis from all dangerous situations.
Oh, human like something.
Croco, make good weapons. You might get lucky. Kroko make? Kroko will do best.
I asked the other Sychosists to guide you. They will also help you in finding the herb. The first ingredient is bark of the Devil's Bush. Devil's Bush can be found in the Ashen Mud Forest. Murray waits at Corroded Forest. Murray, smart Sychos. Good luck.
You rune hunter? Me Murray. Murray guide you to Devil's Bush. More dangerous than the plague. Monsters revived after Red Moon in the sky. Many found en road to Ashen Mud Forest. Be careful once outside the village. Kuruku told me you are strong. Really? Boo-Boo curious. The red... Kuruku told me you are strong. Really? Boo-Boo curious. The red moon rose, and the number of powerful monsters increased. Even corroded forests have bristle branches. Defeat the reviving bristle branches. Show you are strong.
Kuroko speaks truth. Wow! Kuroko speaks truth. You're strong. Boo Boo wants to train as soon as I'm 50. Honestly, Boo Boo was worried. Monster's too strong. But Rune Hunter too young. Now I worry only a little. Don't worry about anything? Okay, I'll put effort. Protect Moray. Moray no good fighter. Back to village. Child is sick. This helps with pain.
Next is Myrrh Tree Leaf. Myrrh Tree Leaf prevents infection. The Myrrh Tree the professor looked after is at the Myrrh Tree Hill. Licorice is also needed. If the herbal decoction's too bitter, the children won't take it.
I remembered what Drillmaster Eric said about the Tears of God while you were gone. Of course, we are collecting the Tears of God to stop the pagans from using them. But if things get worse, can we try to use one on Weeper? I know this is selfish in terms of the greater good, but we can't just let Weeper die. You said you're going out to find herbs, right? Be careful. I don't want to think about you getting sick as well.
here to gather herbs. Need help? Licorice is here. Luba good with smell. Follow smell, and you find it. Very difficult path. Can get lost. Remember, surrounding well. Licorice? Herbal decoction? Then you need licorice. Medicine is really bitter without licorice. Luba tried the herbal decoction before. When young, threw away some because it tasted bad. But this is secret.
Baby needs bark. Bark with strong poison. Rare ingredient for medicine. Baby needs bark. Bark with strong poison. Rare ingredient for medicine. Usually harmful, but sometimes little used for treatment. Then recover faster. Bark carried by tree nailer is very poisonous. But tree nailer hates baby. Please bring us some. You brought me a rare ingredient. Baby is happy. Tree nailer is difficult. Gets mad when baby gets close. Baby only needed a little bark. It seems he didn't get mad at human. How did you do it?
went up to there. But... Actually, Luba went up to there. But returned. Monster blocking route. Luba went to collect herbs. Here are many things Luba wanted to take. I wish human to help. Crocker said, you strong.
That should do it for now.
Got most of the ingredients. There's only one left, but it's difficult to get. It also heals wounds, but it's very rare in Simi Swamp. I'll think of a way to get it. And the black-haired human asked me to tell you to talk to the other human when you come back.
You're back. I have something urgent to discuss with you. The malicious are having trouble against the life slaves that are rising near their camp. I think I should go and help them out. So, could you please hand me the tears of God you have? I believe the tears of God will be of great help in Eric's and William's research.
So Prince Favina took the tears of God and returned to Nivis Mountains? I know your decision is for the greater good, but that means Weeper will... Even if the world is saved, it seems pointless if I'm all alone. You already knew that I always felt that way, since what happened at Ortimus.
Your face not look good. Is something wrong? Kuroku found a way to get Burnett. Burnett grows near the moist rock cave. Rumbu said Rumbu saw it before. Rumbu, older Simis than Kuroku, knows best in Simis Swamp. Rumbu waits at Grey Mist Plains. A long way to Moist Rock Cave. Need thorough preparation.
Kuroko will do best.
Friend, beyond this point is the territory of Primal Simicers. The Primal Simicers are very violent. They don't speak any language and they just charge at you. There are also monster Primal Simicers that keep on reviving. Very scary.
Robo has a concern. Hesitated because many monsters. Human. Robo has a concern. Hesitated because many monsters. Hope you can help. Recently, there are Simis who are gone from Simis Be Cool. Herb gathering shouldn't take this long. Something must have happened. We need to find a clue, even if it is a small one.
barbaric. Who would do this? Rumbo's sad and scared. All our Simispicool Simisters must tell yet once we return. Can't leave Simisters like this. We are nearing Moist Rock Cave. Smell of Burnet getting stronger. Burnet is deep inside here. Rumbo has excellent nose. Trust Rumbo. Try to smell if you can't find it. Burnet has a strong, nice smell. The roots are used for herbal decoction. Try not to damage the root when harvesting.
would be best to pass it on to Liet. It'll be easier for Liet to explain to the scouts.
Brought, Burnett! We can now brew the herbal decoction. The child is holding on, but clearly exhausted. Time is running out. Hope this works.
Corpses hanging from a tree. I was wondering why I couldn't see some Symesis. I had no idea this was what happened to them. I have no clue who did this. But I cannot sit idle at such a horrible incident. I believe it is fair to suspect the primal Symesis who weren't here before. The primal Symesis worship power. They worship the strong and form a group centering around the strongest. So there must be a primal Symesis commanding the others. Find it and teach it a lesson.
See you, Rune Hunter. It's been a while since I last saw a living person. Primal Symesis. I don't know about them. It's because this place is overwhelmed with revived Triaguards. I'm guessing even Ramalda revived. I just feel like the story around Tria hasn't reached its end.
you been well? Though there are dead bodies coming back to life, I'm glad to see you again. As I said at the time, I went back to Trom and submitted the research I did with you to a famous magazine. Of course, the result was a hit, but the profits were low. So I thought about what kind of content I should include as a follow-up article. And I thought that the Knight's Oath would be a good one. It's the thing that the Knight writes down when they swear their allegiance. So it would be a hot topic. So how about it, Rune Hunter? You'll join me this time too, right?
Kuroko will do best. Trust Kuroko.
This is good as a reference, but it's not the knight's item. The knight's oath contains their resolve when swearing allegiance to their lord or lady. Since Romalda Flower has revived, Romalda must be somewhere too, and her knight will be wandering around her. Rune Hunter, so how about it? I'll do my best, so don't give up.
Romalda Flower. Were there any other clues? The Sychosispations are originally a homogeneous race, and it's common for them to live in groups. It is possible that Romalda Flower may have influenced the primal Sychosispations. But only a Sychos can truly lead fellow Sychosispations. There must be a Sychos that stands out as leader. Like it has obvious strength or is bigger in size.
What Liet said sounds like a Titan creature. What do you think? I know the Sychosispations are doing their best, but I think Weeper doesn't have much time left. If we find a Titan creature somewhere in Swamp, can you use the Tears of God on Weeper? I'm begging you to try it if there's no other choice.
Hunter, you found it! This is it. What's written inside of this will get the people... Rune Hunter, you found it! This is it. What's written inside of this will get the people all riled up again. It's said that knights, on their first day of service, will write their oath and always carry it with them. They keep them to read it when their resolve becomes weak. It also signifies that they serve with their oaths close to their hearts. Though Trom's situation isn't great right now, I can assure you, once this chaos subsides, everyone's attention will be focused on this.
What? What do you mean the militia were the ones killing the Simises? There's no reason for the militia to kill the Simises. It's not like they're helping out Salvis or the pagans. There's one thing I couldn't understand since we came to Simiswamp. If Salvis is a pagan, like Prince Favina said, why did he try to save that myrrh tree? It doesn't make any sense. Without myrrh trees, the plague will spread much more easily.
Oh no! You're saying those malicious killed the Simis? And you just brought those horrible humans over here without even considering our position? You humans are always like that. You're always so unbelievably selfish. Simis always help the humans. But how come humans never help the Simis? Without the professor, we wouldn't have ever helped a human. You owe the professor a debt you carried to your grave.
I'm terribly sorry about what happened. But I do have something I want to ask you, Chief.
What is it?
What sort of person is this Professor Salvis? The militia's told us that he's the one behind the pagans.
What did you say? You really are completely shameless. Oh, really? How can you even accuse him of such lies after all he did for you? I think the professor is somewhere near the Nivis Mountains. If you really want to know the truth, go find him and ask him yourself. Your utter lack of manners actually disgusts me. So please excuse me.
I just need to transfer the energy from this crystal to the child. Correct. Don't worry. Liet wouldn't just abandon a sick child. It's faster to reach Nivis Mountains by going through the swamp rock cliff. I'll take good care of the child, so don't get sick until then, human.
This is bad. How can we find Salvis in the vast Nivis Mountains? Should we just go to the militia camp and ask Prince Favina directly? What should we do? I'll follow your decision.
You left Weeper behind at Simis Swamp and headed to Nivis Mountains. The best option you had was to believe in Kuruku and the Simises and pray for Weeper to get better. As you passed the cliff, you thought about what Pan said. The pagans spread the plague, and if Salvus was a pagan, there was no need for him to save the myrrh tree, which is used to treat the plague. You continued your journey and reached Nivis Mountains. The vast snowfield felt as if it had all sorts of hidden knowledge to share, but at the same time, the cold silence reminded you of the unforgiving environment.
Huh. Was this here before? I don't recall seeing this camp. I don't think the militia would make something like this. Huh?
Who are you?
Oh, you are the Ruin Hunter I met in Calicorda.
Say the word. Kuroku make. Kuroku will do best.
What brings you here? I didn't see your name on the list of rune hunters Captain Kristen gathered. You are looking for someone. And you don't seem to be willing to tell me whom. Well, that might be wise. It's better not to trust anyone until you're certain. If you need a place to stay, you can use this place. This is a temporary camp, and we will be leaving soon.
How can he order rune hunters to gather at Nivis Mountains when Calicorda is being overwhelmed by the life slaves? Is there something more important than Calicorda to the captain? I really don't know what's going on. Do you have any clues? I'm hoping I'm not the only one who's confused. Even if I am, don't tell me that I'm the only one.
I didn't know our encounter from Calicorda would lead to another meeting like this. We are waiting for directions, as per Captain Kristen's orders. Not all of the Rune Hunters arrived, so we are actually behind schedule. Can I ask you to go out and see if there are any Rune Hunters struggling to get here? The terrain is really complex around here, so it's easy to get lost. It will be particularly difficult for Lewin.
I haven't seen your face before. Are you a new rune hunter? I'm Walda, a short-term hired hunter by Leon. I'm working with her on the condition that she and her party will solve the food problem while staying at the camp. Anyway, since you're here, it would be nice if you could lend me a hand, especially seeing how I'm working alone. From the nearby trap, take out the animal that will be used as today's rations. And of course, it's your responsibility to clean and trim it, all right?
I'm freezing to death. I'm literally becoming frosty. I've been wandering around here for half a day. I was told to come here, so I did. But is there really something out here? What? Leon and Opika are here? Whoa, does that mean I actually came to the right place? Oh man, I never thought I'd find the way here all on my own. Thank you for the escort, Rune Hunter. I'll see you at camp.
I knew it. I'm certain the other rune hunters are having trouble finding their way here. If Lewin is here, that means Werder is coming. I wonder where Werder is.
I'm worried about Werder. We were together until the temple, but I lost my way in the middle, and I'm certain that Werder is still looking for me there. We've always been like that. Rune Hunter, can I ask you to find Werder for me? I can't let my friend freeze to death in a place like this.
is already at the top? No wonder he didn't show up. Lewin was never good with directions. But I guess he got lucky this time. That means I shouldn't linger here any longer. I should hurry to the camp and get some warmth. By the way, there was a giant snow pig, Cornu, down there. It even penetrated through the temple. It must be really strong. If you're the type of rune hunter that enjoys adventures, why don't you try taking it on?
Hunter. The militia is headed to the stormy snowfields. Help them. They'll be annihilated.
Annihilated? I'm not sure what's going on, but that's definitely not good news. But after learning how the militia killed the Simises, I'm not really liking the idea of helping them either. But even so, you'll probably go to the stormy snowfields. How can I stop you?
Rune Hunter, I heard you are planning to go to the stormy snowfields. Now, we're missing one more person. It's Winsel. If you happen to find him, can you direct him to where we are?
Damn it, who cares about artifacts or ancient texts? Right now, it's more important to protect your life. I lost all the things I had gathered from the temple, while running away from those life-slave monsters. Originally, I was supposed to hand them over to the archaeologist inside the temple. Forget it. I'm ditching this job. If that archaeologist had half a brain, they would have ran away too. Nobody in their right mind would stay here.
Rune Hunter. I must have overdone it. Rune Hunter. I must have overdone it. I tried to study life slaves. I've dedicated my whole life to studying serpents, so I couldn't ignore this opportunity. I tried my best to find something by looking through the things at the temple. If I knew this would happen, I would have returned sooner. I was trapped here, helpless. These treasures are beautiful. I'm glad I stayed behind. Thank you, Rune Hunter. I've decided, if I die, I will die here. I cannot take one step outside and leave these things behind. They're too precious.
Haven't we met before? I feel like I know you really well. The other rune hunters are already there. I guess I wasted too much time here. I must have lost track of time as I read the story about the primal war on this tombstone. The war between the 12 beings of Trom and the evil god serpents. The story even talks about the birth and death of the 12 beings. The 12 beings, born from the void, shared their powers to create Trom and lived among their children. Everything was in harmony, and their children prospered under the blessing of the 12 gods. But there was a 13th being. The evil god serpents rose from the darkness of the light that came from the 12 gods. The 12 beings couldn't stand idle in the face of serpents, who shattered the balance and corrupted their children. The 12 beings tried to defeat the evil by sharing their powers contained within runes and essences, but they failed. In the end, the 12 beings decided to merge into one and return back to their beginning, their source, together with serpents. After a fierce battle, the soul of serpents was split into two and scattered into the world, and the 12 beings lost their bodies and names and fell into a deep slumber. Since serpents was born from the 12 gods, without the first beginning, serpents would not exist either. However, as time passed and as the children of Trom began to use the power of runes once again, they began to access the zodiacs, which in turn awakened the gods. But what they had not been aware of was that once divinity was restored, evil came along with it. Serpent's power brings back life. Rodonimo pagans believe that the return of serpents will promise an eternity of revivals. Ever since the life slaves began rising, the Rodonimo are killing everything in their path. As long as the power of serpents remains, the dead will continue to revive under serpent's command. They seem to be trying to reach Trom with the life slaves from Bellatus. Or perhaps they have already thought of a way to massacre the people of Trom all at once.
Is it my fault for coming to Bellatus during this uproar? I lost everything I had to the creatures. Now I'm broke, and there's nothing left for me. And at this rate, I'll probably lose my life, too. Rune Hunter, if you can help, maybe it will be possible. Get revenge on the Glacier Reaver, who took everything from me in my stead. I don't care if it comes back to life. I just want to see it fall down once. You can take my possessions. I can't do this anymore.
That's enough child's play. Anything that loses its value should be thrown away. From now on, we shall only stride forward for the One's complete revival. Come and bleed for the One. That is your sole purpose for existing.
can't believe William was... Does that mean most of the militia was being manipulated? And what Callie said sounds awfully similar to what the pagans said. Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault.
So you guys, are you saying that you have been working with the militia all along?
Kind of. Although I did sense something odd at Siniswamp.
If you've been with them since Calacorda, I can actually understand why Fred made such a scene out there.
Who is the leader of the militia?
It was Prince Favina. He had black hair and a strikingly pale face.
What?
Did I say something wrong?
Prince Favina? Are you sure about that?
What? What do you mean?
Despite being an adopted son, Prince Favina was famous for how much he looked like King Alden. There were even rumors saying Prince Favina was King Alden's illegitimate son. But King Alden had brown hair. Even though Prince Favina went missing, there are things that simply do not change. I understand what you're saying. You want to save the soldiers that might still be at the camp, right? Let us join you. If the militia command is connected to the pagans, that becomes our problem as well. Captain Kristen has been preparing to stop the Redonimo from going through with their plans to revive serpents. That is why we are gathered here. The Red Moon rose, just like 10 years ago when serpents came back to life.
It wasn't something that was widely known to begin with. Actually, from the outside, the captain didn't really seem to care about the pagans. I think the captain tried to sort out the rune hunters through the conflict between Calacorda and the Terras. We were chosen and called to come to this point. If there weren't any issues, you, the hero of Calacorda, would have been with us too. You said the militia camp is at the entrance of Nivis Mountains, right? Let's go save them.